manage Gainbridge Fieldhouse, as well as a few other venues on our campus, and a new venue for our G League team, the Noblesville Boom.
Yeah.
So we handle all the live production, control room for the in-arena show, we handle IPTV, we handle some of the broadcasting and streams that go out of those venues as well. But pretty much anything with screens, cameras, we're involved.
So we've got 3 basketball teams, but we also host NCAA, we host IHSAA, right, our local high school circuit and stuff. We do a lot of other smaller events too. We do non-basketball. We kind of do a little bit of everything. So our system there with EVS Cerebrum and the neurons and stuff is a pretty flexible thing that handles a few hundred events a year.
Everything's changing, right? So everything's changing in terms of how we do broadcasts, who's broadcasting, what we're able to broadcast. And so with our facilities at Gainbridge, we're trying to be very adaptable to meet any need, right? So we've got to meet the needs that we have right now, our current clients, right? Our current brands and teams that we manage and do the productions for. We want to be very capable for any clients that come into the venues, any extra events that we get offered or we might want to bid on. We need to be able to be competitive.
But I try to solve workflows, like let's say a video shader who needs to control and paint cameras quickly, right? I've gone in and I've built some custom UIs that bring the Sony RCPs and the Telestream Prism monitors and the EVS, the Cerebrum router heads. I kind of bring everything together to kind of sing in harmony without the operator having to do anything extra. So if a shader is going and pushing a button to change a route for the QC monitor, right there Cerebrum follows that and pops up all the proc amp and color amp controls right next to the operator, so he can literally just kind of push and click. And so a lot of what we do is pulling together systems for the sake of workflow, speed, but then also has to be accurate, right?
When we first put it in, I was definitely thinking just traditional video audio router, which actually caused some frustrations, I would say, because there's so much more to it. So when you're thinking of it that way, it could be more complex because I'm just wanting to route video audio. But now that we're reaching into these other production models, it's very powerful and been very helpful in controlling what we're trying to do and very customizable as well. We actually had an interesting opportunity here. We were looking at things a little different than we might normally with the ROI and the capital expenditures that went into this project, because our G League team was moving from a venue to a completely new location, built from the ground up, and we were going to have to do something.
Being 37 miles away, you can't just throw some fiber across the road, right? Much more difficult. So what we've done is we have multi-dyne WDM devices on either side of the link, the 37 miles, lighting dark fiber, and then we've got an array of different types of data that can speak optics. So we've got Sony CCUs, we've got Netgear and Cisco network switches passing control plane and Dante audio for our announce boxes. We also have clock and scoring data coming by, and so you're talking with your traditional SMPTE standard 2.5 gig 422 uncompressed video arrives at the exact same point in time, same packet as 9600 OES clock data. So we've used WDM as a backbone and foundation to let the game go on 37 miles away, have all of our horsepower in the rest of our multi-million-dollar facility still be utilized to provide tools for the broadcast, and it's in 310 microsecond latency, right? 310 microseconds, so nobody knows the difference, and so our production is as if they were in a room just down the hall.
Yeah, and then so much so that it actually confused our crew when we first deployed it on site in Noblesville. They were a little confused that was it. Like, that's all there is to it. We've designed this system and production model for them with the user and the operators in mind. They couldn't believe that it was going to be just like working at Gainbridge. What they're used to and the tools and resources they're used to. And it's worked really well for us.
What I'm letting them do is their jobs, right? Which sounds kind of like silly or dumb or mundane, but that's actually the technology that I get really excited about, is removing barriers, right? Systems and broadcasts have just kept getting more and more complex as the years have gone on, right? You've got AI now being added to simplify maybe some of it, but to do that, you now need to connect into an AWS account, you need to do this and that with all these different protocols. We've just been adding and packing on. Meanwhile, engineering teams have not been getting bigger, right? So we're very, very blessed at Gainbridge Fieldhouse to have a little bit larger engineering side than most. But what we've really done is allowed the production folks, the creatives, to just get to what they're doing with custom solutions that we built for them that, Houston and no other venue in the world has some of our workflows. So I don't code it like it's some of their workflows. I code it for our people, right?
Yeah.
So we get to have some really, really customized things that work in the way that my operators' brains do. And so they get to just push buttons and live in their happy world and just trust that the car is going to go where they need it to go. So what I've unleashed is thus their time, their energy, their effort, their focus to be on the gameplay, the storytelling that's going on. Because obviously that's what the fans really, really love. The more you can get to know Tyrese or Caitlin Clark or Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston and all of them, the more you get to see them for what they are, just the absolute better. So what we unleashed is really the ability for my creative folks to bring our players closer to our fans.